Good morning. This is Don B with Truth Be Told. Sorry we weren't able to do any videos yesterday. Wasn't feeling well, and so just didn't get on here. At any rate, we have several interesting news reports I'd like to share with you. But before we move to that, please remember to subscribe. Over 80% of the people that watch me are not subscribers, and really helps my channel grow. It's completely free. I don't make a cent off from this. I'm just doing it to get the information out there. At any rate, without ado, let's go ahead and go to the first one. According to Real Raw News, Bill Gates Military Tribunal Day 1. I don't know if I believe this or not. Okay, Vice Admin John G. Hancock of the U.S. Navy Judge Advocates General Corps tore into Bill Gates on the start of a military tribunal that is expected to last several days. At 9 a.m. Monday morning, military police escorted Gates from Gitmo's Camp Delta detention block to the courtroom where Hancock and the three-officer panel awaited Gates' arrival. At Gates' side was David Balarte, an attorney who had once worked for the Center of Justice and International Law and in 2009 had lobbied for the release of jihadists detained at Guantanamo Bay. Vice Admin Hancock's first act consisted of linking Gates to Jeffrey Epstein and linking them to a child trafficking ring that Gates had run from the subterranean bunker beneath a ranch he had owned in Wyoming. He presented to the panel videos and images obtained from laptops and SD cards the military had seized during the raids on several Gates-owned properties across the nation. One disturbing video showed Gates and Epstein hatching plots on how to kidnap children from third world nations and sell them to the highest bidders. El Salvador is ripe for the picking, Gates said on the video. No, the market for dark-skinned children is slim right now. Not even Hillary wants those. Caucasian or Caucasian-looking nets the most money, Epstein said. On the video, Bill Gates chuckled and smirked. We should just get them here, like we've done before. It's not like anyone can touch us. I've made sure we're insulated. Vice Admin Hancock addressed Gates' lawyer. Does your client have an answer for this? Gates leaned over and whispered in David Belarte's ear. It's all role play. Yes, Bill and Jeffrey were friends. Jeffrey Epstein had many friends, and Bill was just one of them. And this video is nothing more than two men engaging in some role play the military has exaggerated into some grand conspiracy to frame my client for crimes he never committed. Bill Gates is one of the smartest men on the planet. If he were planning to abduct children, do you really think he'd videotape his plans? Belarte said. Your client is also a narcissist and a megalomaniac, Rear Admin Hancock responded, and offered the panel a printout of a spreadsheet the military obtained from one of Gates' computers and subsequently deciphered. The spreadsheet held 65 names. The 65 names belonged to children who had inexplicably gone missing while visiting national parks across the nation. Besides each name was a dollar amount ranging from $250K to $3 million and the age, hair, eye color of each child. Youngest was 4 at the presumed time of abduction. David Balarte objected. It's no secret that children have disappeared in the national park system. Mr. Gates is a humanitarian and has concern for child welfare. Do you really think my client, certainly no outdoor enthusiast, went traipsing around foreboding environments in search of children to steal? If he was on some noble humanitarian mission, then why the dollar assignment for each child? And no, I certainly don't think Gates himself went hiking around the Grand Canyons or Yosemite, but someone did on his behalf, Vice Admin Hancock said. He pressed a button on a remote control in his hand and a large video screen lowered from the recessed opening in the ceiling. A moment later, Gates' estranged ex-wife, Melinda, appeared on the screen, gave her name and relationship to the accused, and admitted that although she had received leniency in exchange for testimony, she would tell the truth and nothing but the truth. A typically soft-smoking Gates suddenly arose from his chair and shook his shackled wrists at the screen. You gold-digging expletive word, Gates blurted. You can't believe anything this woman says. Vice Admin Hancock instructed Balarte to restrain his client unless the military police do it for him. Melinda Ann French, Vice Admin Hancock said, addressing Melinda by her maiden name. Did you, on the 14th of August 2017, hear your former husband Bill Gates brag that he had children abducted both in the U.S. and abroad? She replied in the affirmative, and several other times she added. Did you overtly reveal this to you? Vice Admin asked. He did. He would laugh and grin, and with that sinister giggle of his allude to the number of children he and his associates had abducted from their families, she replied. Did he ever give a figure? No, but it was clearly in the hundreds, if not thousands, Melinda said. And you never thought to come forward with this information, Vice Admin Hannock said. I've lived a prosperous life. He threatened to take it if I ever divulged his secret life. He said he'd have me killed, Melinda said. Wade carefully, which you've heard here today, for there will be more tomorrow, Vice Admin Hannock told the panel, and put the tribunal in recess until 10 a.m. Tuesday. Boy, a lot of alleged information there. I should really, really, really hope and pray that this is true. But I'm not going to hold my breath. All right, moving on to the next report. On the pundit, it says, Joe Biden says the quiet part out loud implies Kamala Harris will be president pretty soon. Joe Biden on Monday welcomed the 2020 WNBA champion Seattle Storm to the White House. Biden went off script while he encouraged women to chase their dreams and implied Kamala Harris will be president pretty soon. Whatever. Joe Biden caught himself just as he said Kamala will be president soon. Kamala happens to be in Asia for me right now, but that's why we have a female vice president of the United States of America, who's going to be, we're going to have some female presidents pretty soon, Biden said. Biden also told the women's basketball champions that he may need a job soon and pitched himself as their new ball boy. I may need work after this. I'll be a good ball boy, Flashbang said. Okay, and their little excerpt here. What? Biden? Camel toe happens to be in Asia for me right now, but that's what we have, female vice president of the United States of America. Who's going to be? We're going to have some presidents pretty soon. Let's take a quick listen to this.
My two daughters were born that you can do anything a man can do. It's one thing for somebody to say that and keep pounding that in the head of their 5 granddaughters as well. But guess what? Until they see it, until they watch, it becomes real then. That's why, by the way, it happens to be in Asia for me right now, but that's why we have a female vice president of the United States of America we're going to have some presidents pretty soon. My two daughters.
Interesting. Well, guys, well, God willing, that never happens, that's for sure. We know that there are some things going on in the background that are going to make some big changes happen to America. So just stay on your knees in prayer and look to him and know that he's always in control. All right. This is going to be great days ahead. At any rate, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. The second news, it says, U.S. leaves behind $85 billion in military weapons and equipment, all grabbed by the Taliban in Afghanistan. A total collapse of Afghanistan due to the completely botched withdrawal of U.S. forces by illegitimate President Joe Biden has caused the U.S. military to leave behind upwards of $85 billion in sophisticated weaponry and equipment, enough to arm every militant Islamic terrorist group on the entire planet for years. Thanks to information from sources with whom I developed relations during my years working with the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force, I can confirm the following. The Taliban have secured U.S. military ID printing equipment, including cases of ID blanks. They will be able to print actual military CAC, Common Access Card ID, identical to the one below. Oh my word. The CAC, a smart card about the size of a credit card, is the standard identification for active duty uniformed service personnel, selected reserve, DoD civilian employees, and eligible contractor personnel. It's also the principal card used to enable physical access to buildings, controlled spaces, and it provides access to DoD computer networks and systems. So now they have to have U.S. uniforms and U.S. IDs. Weaponry: 2,000 armored vehicles, including Humvees and MRAPs. 75,989 total vehicles: FMTVs, M35, Ford Rangers, Ford F-350s, Ford vans, Toyota pickups, armored security vehicles, etc. 45 UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters, 50 MD-530G Scout Attack choppers, Scan Eagle military drones, 30 military version Cessna planes, four C-130s, 29 Brazilian-made A-29 Super Tucano ground attack aircraft, and 208 plus aircraft total. At least 600,000 small arms M16, M249 SAWs, and M224 50 caliber sniper systems, 1,394 M203 grenade launchers. Boy, this is a big list. Anyway, let's go ahead and go past this. There's more, much more. In fact, there were several high-security storage warehouses that were so important only military top security clearances could even enter them. Inside those storage warehouses were things like shoulder-carry Stinger aircraft missiles and a host of other special equipment. Those warehouses and everything inside them is now in the possession of the Taliban. It gets worse. The Taliban has also secured U.S. military drone jamming equipment, which is disastrous if true. The reason is it is disastrous. This gear can jam U.S. drones. As you read this story, members of the China Communist Party and their People's Liberation Army are on the ground inside Afghanistan negotiating with the Taliban directly to buy whatever U.S. military technology they find interesting. Great! Yeah, let's give our enemy that. This will set back U.S. force superiority so badly our nation may actually no longer be able to defend itself because of our own high technology is now fully in the hands of the Communist Chinese. Our technology can jam our technology. Our jamming gear can be used to stop our drones. Our laser aiming systems can be analyzed, and China can develop ways to jam that too. All of our laser-guided bombs would be re-steered away from targets in conflict with China. Our communications technology encrypts in such a way that an encryption has no backdoors and cannot be broken. If China begins employing it, we won't be able to spy on them or monitor their military activities, even if they are invading our country. What Joe Biden has done in Afghanistan is no accident. This is no incompetence. It is treason of the worst kind. America may literally not survive what Joe Biden has just done in Afghanistan, and the rest of the world. Every terrorist organization on the planet will now have encrypted comms. Can't be hacked, can't be monitored. All of them will have the ability to jam our intelligence gathering. All of them will have weaponry that can defeat actual standing armies. Once this technology gets to Hamas and Hezbollah, Israel will fall. Their military will not be able to track, monitor, or thwart attacks anymore. And once the supplies of Stingers, shoulder-carried anti-aircraft missiles gets loose, civilian passenger airlines won't have a chance anywhere on the planet. All those planes can hit at will and without warning. This is the legacy of flashbang. At any rate, the next report is Time's Up, waged war on Kavanaugh, but covered for Cuomo and Biden. Exactly. Time's Up co-founder Robert Kaplan resigned after she was implicated in discrediting Andrew Cuomo's accusers. Her co-founder, Tina Chechen, was also repeatedly referenced in the New York Attorney General's report, but denies any involvement in discrediting Cuomo's accusers. A report from the New York Times found that not only did Techen advise the Cuomo administration on dealing with Me Too allegations, she also reportedly squashed advocacy organizations calling on Biden to respond to Tara Reade's allegations. Tina was denying me assistance at the same time as raising funds for the man who sexually assaulted me, Reade told the Daily Caller News Foundation. That only should be grounds for her removal from the Time's Up. Prominent Me Too organization that waged war on the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh covered for both Democratic New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and then presidential candidate flashbang, as reported by the New York Attorney General's office and reporting by the New York Times shows. Time's Up co-founder Roberta Kaplan resigned August 9th, yay, after investigators found that she had aided the Cuomo's administration in discrediting his accusers. According to a report by the New York Attorney General's office, the report found that Cuomo had sexually harassed a number of state employees through unwelcome and unwanted touching, and offensive and sexually suggestive comments. Time's Up co-founder Tina Techen, who formerly served as Michelle Obama's chief of staff, was also implicated in the report, but Tetchen also vigorously denied any involvement in discrediting Cuomo's accusers, saying she would never work to discredit a survivor in any way, and that she is furious the governor's office used me on Time's Up as justification for her defense. Yeah, a Democrat that lies. Imagine that. The New York Times reported Saturday, however, that not only did Tetchen advise the Cuomo administration on dealing with Me Too allegations, she also reportedly squashed advocacy organizations' efforts to call on Biden to respond to Reid's allegations while raising funds for his campaign. Time's Up has become a joke, Reid told the Daily Caller News Foundation Monday, a catch and kill for powerful elites. Yep, these people make me ill. On the red state, we have, will Afghanistan become the nail in the Democrats' coffin? The ongoing situation in Afghanistan is still dire for those trapped in Kabul. This is especially true for those who will face retaliation from the Taliban, which is cementing its place of dominance over the region. Americans and Afghan allies of the U.S. military are desperately trying to escape from the country, while Flashbang does not seem to have much in the way of solutions. Imagine that. Okay, that appears to be all of that one. Overnight, Nancy Pelosi changes House rules in order to ram through a $3.5 trillion Green New Deal and forever change America into a failed Marxist state. Look at that evil, wicked woman. Elections have consequences. And, can't say that. Can't say that, sorry. Late Monday night, Nancy Pelosi changed House rules to ram through the $3.5 trillion Green New Deal insanity that will forever change America into another failed Marxist state. The $3.5 trillion spending bill is in addition to the $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill that came from the Senate over 19 GOP traitors. The senators voted for the infrastructure bill. This bill will change America forever and will bankrupt the country for generations. The conservative Treehouse reported, "Are you reading this? Nancy Pelosi has pulled together her leadership group overnight to change the House rules for legislative passage of the $3.5 trillion Green New Deal spending package under the auspices of infrastructure. This $3.5 trillion spending bill is in addition to the $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill that came from the Senate, and she is using $2 trillion budget package as the carrier for a slick deem and pass maneuver. As we have seen before, right now, Pelosi is changing the House rules to have a single vote on the current budget proposal, which will include a deem and pass provision that adds $3.5 trillion Green New Deal spending package to it. By voting to pass the omnibus budget bill, all House members will also be voting to authorize as passed the additional $3.5 trillion G&D as a wraparound. This means one single vote passes this massive social engineering project with more than $5.5 trillion in spending in a single bill. Thereafter, the House will vote on the Senate bill separately to add another $1.5 trillion, bringing the total spending by the House before they depart to a whopping $7 trillion, forever changing the American landscape. After several hours of discussion and conference with a group of 10 moderate Democrats led by New Jersey Representative Josh Gottheimer, shortly before 1 a.m. Eastern Time, Pelosi sent the House Democrats home with the pledge to finish the rule changes and prepare for a vote today, Tuesday. The House will reconvene at noon, and the votes will be whipped. Oh, my word. It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it, guys? These people just will not stop until they have us as a third world nation, because they're one world utopia. That they need. Their communist utopia. Well, if they love communism so much, why don't they pack their butts up, take all their crooked money, and move to Russia or China? There they can have their utopia and live in everlasting chains under the communist regimes. At any rate, this is Don V with Truth Be Told, broadcasting under sunny skies. Looks like we're going to probably be 85, around here in Arizona. Everybody have a wonderful day. We're out of here.